o3-PRO, baby! Oh, it's a new state-of-the-art model. This is beautiful. So I have been with o3-PRO. Let me tell y'all, the shit is cracked, bro. It's actually, I don't know what I'm allowed to say on stream without getting banned, but best AI model I've had chatter with so far. So I haven't really had, coding problems with o3-PRO. I more so had legal business problems with o3-PRO. And other things, and like company consulting. The more data you give of your company to o3-PRO, the way better the response is gonna be. So it's very interesting there. There was one strategy that I said I was gonna do. When can I donate subs? I don't know. How do I open subs? So one strategy I was gonna do is to test a workflow combo where you use o3-PRO for system architecture and use o3 in Cursor AI with Perplexity, cause they made that shit cheap as fuck. Bro, it's basically free. 87%. You know, my credit card was crying, bro. My wallet was empty after one prompt, bro. This shit looked like this. And now I was 80% cheaper, bro. I'm not broke anymore. Anyways, it's a great day to be a vibe coder. All right, guys. Yeah. It's a great day to be a vibe coder. It's a great day. Anyways, we're getting back into story engine work. So a little recap of what we did last time is, let me run this joint. Why you don't work now? What'd I do? Shit. I can't do a recap if it doesn't work. There was a change I did. This adds, what is this? If I undo this chat, does it work? No, I remember that word. What was this one? What is this one? Let me get my D&D background music. While I work on this. Also forgot to ping my vibe card to Discord. Yo, someone hit me up. He was like, you should automatically ping your streams to your Discord. I'm like, damn, that's a great idea. A great idea, shorty. Is my live working on YouTube? Oh, it is. Okay, I think I'm gonna amplify my YouTube stream because oops. Day 4 stream live going over o3-PRO and should I say hardcore vibe coding and a vibe coding combo with o3 and Cursor since it's cheap. I'm gonna say it's a new era of vibe coding. And not everybody. Okay. We'll keep that. So the first error is that, let me give you guys an example of the magic of o3. Now here's the thing. The ZMF takes time to think. And when I say he takes time to think, so I'm talking about the last time I asked him for a response, it took 15 minutes to give me a response. Now it's good, because the longer an AI model thinks, the smarter, the better the response is, which is fantastic for us. So in this case, honestly, I feel like this is a problem, that o3 in Cursor, because do I keep saying o1? No, I said o3. Okay, so using o3 in Cursor, we could do insane things now. It really eases up the workflow a lot. So in this case, oh, I'm getting this weird like failed to start server. I'm gonna just paste in the server logs into the chat. And then I'm just gonna drag, to be honest, like the entire SRC. Oh my god, Udi! The wizard, man. Bro, vibe coding got upgraded, Udi! We could actually make things, we could actually ship. Yeah, this is recorded and vlogs get posted, so you're good. So since it's so good now, I could just be like, fix this bug, please. Look at that. God, I'm such a good software dev. Oh, fix the bug, please. Oh my God, it's so easy. It's so easy to be a developer now. Oh, like, what are you guys talking about? Oh my God, watch this one shot. Look, I don't even have to. I'm just sit here and meditate. It just does my work for me. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It was on a bigger scale. o3-PRO came out. So one thing I do want to test with o3-PRO is its ability to do insane system design. Now there's a project I did where I was able to one-shot this voice agent, but I can't show that project for legal reasons. So I did want to see if I could one-shot this other video agent. Apparently, you can add MCPs to ChatGPT that o3 could then use in its head. It's really interesting. So I made this new prompt called the Architector, which looks like this. So I put on deep thinking mode. And then I tell o3-PRO that it's a master level system architect with 20 years of experience designing scalable, secure production systems. I don't know why I had 20 plus years of experience. You think in terms of complete systems, not just code. You understand that great architecture makes implementation obvious and debugging trivial. Your designs are so clear that junior developers can implement them without confusion. So I had Opus make this prompt. And I explained like to make a system architect prompt. So we have the discovery phase where we're encouraging o3 to like go deep into research things because we know it could use tools in its head. We ask for executive summary and then the system architecture, and we have this full thing. Now the new combo is we take the response that o3 makes and we put it in cursor. Wait, hold on. All right, look at that. One shot, fix. I didn't have to do anything. Look, my code works now. Oh, look at that. Oh, worlds. Boot Kingdom, Fallout 2. Wait, what are the Boot Kingdom worlds? View locations. Look, we got Boot Kingdom worlds. And wait, what was the prompt? Hold on. What was the prompt I just did? What was the... It was, fix this bug, please. And it fixed it. It's so easy. It's so easy being in depth. Now there is deeper lore. So the reason why it was so easy for Cursor and like o3 now in Cursor to fix that bug is because we take the time to one, make really good documentation explaining our whole code base. Two, the big uppy is Cursor rules. So I have Cursor rules explaining commenting guidelines, logging guidelines, the project structure of my code base, styling guidelines on how everything should be consistent with a pattern. We explain the tech stack. We explain the testing guidelines and how everything should work. And using all of this context, o3 makes sexy code. Yeah, look at that sexy comment. Look. Beautiful. So this was o3 in Cursor, right? Mr. Udi, and there's a very important video that every Cursor vibe coder must watch, posted by your man himself, which is how to master Cursor AI. And that's how I make AI write perfect code every time. And really the loop is just to have documentation. It's just to have Cursor rules that explain like your code base, project structure, and all of that, plus docs. And o3 already does a really good job at grepping your code base to understand like what's going wrong. Now what I'm gonna try is I wanna make a product, right? If I had this product, it would be very, very useful for me as a content creator and for every single content creator if this product existed. So there is an open source platform called WhisperX. And what WhisperX does is it takes the transcript of a video. So you put in a video, it uses AI to take a transcript of the video. But here's the thing. WhisperX gives you speaker recognition. So it labels all the different speakers in a video, and it has timestamps. Now, the only other thing that I could do something similar to that is Descript, but I don't want to pay for Descript. And also, I want to make my own AI agent that could like clip my videos up for me and make good clips based on chat, because that would be useful. So I'm wondering if o3-PRO could take WhisperX and be like, there's this, let me just say it. There's this video transcript open source project called WhisperX, and it could take the video, audio of a video, convert it into a transcript. Now, the best part is that it has speaker recognition and timestamps, word level timestamps that help. I want to use a GPU service like Model because it has GPU acceleration for like taking the videos and making it easy. And use that to make an app where I could upload a video and get back the real-time transcript plus speaker recognition and dialogue. So that's it. I'm just explaining. Very, very, very simple like idea of what I want. And then I'm gonna paste this in. Now the reason why I said like model is this GPU acceleration. Like you could rent GPUs on the spot, and WhisperX has a thing where it's really slow on my Mac when I try converting videos, but there is a back end that allows you to use GPU. You're the next Mark Zuckerberg, my lizard. That allows us to use GPU acceleration to like speed up the process. So I'm like, all right, if I can make a server where I could upload a video and I can send that to my editors and they can have the word level transcripts and I could make clips like a demon, like an insane demon. So I'm also gonna paste model and be like, I want to use model for the GPU. I'm gonna paste that in for the GPU server. I want to see what he comes up with. Now the thing is, what's up, Rico? The thing is, o3-PRO is probably gonna take 10 to 15 to 20 minutes to think and design this whole thing for us. But the sauce is once it designs it, it's plan that it may. The architecture of the code is so good that we could just go on a cursor and talk to O3 and say, make this. And then it'll make it for us in full, in mass. Usually perfectly. That's from my test so far. Anyways, vibe coding has just accelerated insanely fast because O3 can now be used in cursor because pricing was cut by 87%. 87%. So, oh, what's up? Thanks for the follow, Vampy. 87%. You know what that means? That means the world's smartest model is cheaper than ChatGPT 4.0, which is intended for everyday use. Now that changes the game a lot. Now I already wasn't really caring. I was kind of like being very specific with how I use my O3 calls because obviously I don't want like a $10,000 bill on my credit card when I ask for one prompt. But it doesn't matter now. I couldn't believe I did. It literally doesn't matter now. So going back, right, I have a couple of things on my to-do from last time. So for locations, I want to make a world map. That's actually kind of a big one that I wanna try and get. We need to save the XY coordinates of locations. I think we already saved the XY coordinates of locations. So okay, pretty sure I already saved the XY coordinates of locations on the map. So we go story engine. Okay, locations, relative X, relative Y. Boom. We saved that. I also kind of assume the AI system gives us proper relative X and relative Y coordinates to follow, so it doesn't really mess with that. Now what I'm gonna do is, wouldn't it be so cool if we also generated a map on the spot that got like dynamically updated as the world and like all of like the XY coordinates we're going through. So Pro prefers O3 to Opus, greatest animated portrayal. Udi, I told you I have a roster. Roster means we swap between them. Roster means when one night I'm feeling a different taste, I go talk to that different taste. Now, I'm not saying I'm a loyal man in real life, but when it comes to AI models, like, it's hard. You can't just expect me to stay to one model when another model comes out and it's like, hey, I'm 10x better. Like, shit. Also, I do prefer Opus for making prompts. So here's the thing, right? Here's a secret sauce, Udi. Here's the ultimate secret sauce that you're underestimating. I made Opus make the prompt for o3-PRO. Opus made him. This is Opus's sauce in o3-PRO. Pause. But Opus is really good. So Claude and Opus is really, really good. It's a bolt hackathon. It's the just search up bolt.new. Bolt.new. So look, Opus and Claude in general, they are really, really good at prompting other AI models. It's like I find them really extraordinarily good at prompting AI models. They make really, really excellent prompts. I wonder if that's because Claude is more empathetic when it comes to being a model. And it makes really good prompts that o3-PRO follows. Now, the thing about o3-PRO is you need a good prompt. It's like there's a specific thing that's really helpful. And it's this. o3-PRO prompting guide. Wants to load. If any of you... Okay. This is the anatomy of an O3 prompt. It's kind of the same as the O1 prompt. This was from a while back. But you tell the goal, you have a return format, warnings, and then a whole bunch of context. You want to give this bot as much context as possible. There's this research paper that just dropped that said, God needs more context. God is hungry for context. First thoughts in o3-PRO. I'm putting this in chat so you guys could read it. And you guys could learn about the abilities of o3-PRO. But it is an insane model. For example... this blog talks about how they posted in as much information about their company as possible, and it actually gave them concrete plans they could follow and use in real time. That's basically AGI. People are like, oh, AI isn't AGI until it can make me money. Shit, it's been making me money. It's making these people money. It's consulting for better money. It's just it'll always be a skill issue. Anyway, so o3-PRO, my personal use case is at a conflict, at a potential conflict with team. So what I did with team is we recorded a transcript. We literally went on the transcript app on the iPhone and we recorded a full... Wait, how do you record? What's that? It was voice memos. So we went on voice memos on the iPhone. And we just recorded our conversation, and we recorded our debate, and we recorded our needs and our desires and our wants from each other, you know, like real mature shit. And then it was like a 15-minute conversation. Apple conveniently has a transcript feature on it, so we just copied the transcript, took it to o3-PRO because it came out same day. It was a perfect timing. Put it into o3-PRO, and the answer it gave after thinking for 22 minutes and 30 seconds was the best answer in the world I could have asked for. It made me really happy. It makes team really happy. And it found the perfect medium in our conflict that just clicked for both of us off rip. So that was a very powerful use case of o3-PRO that just kind of like wowed me. So he's still thinking from the initial thing. So anyways, back to World Story Engine. Is I thought it'd be so sick if we had a dynamically generated map that went. Now using Claude, because Udi thinks I'm unloyal. What? I use O3, or I use fuck. I use Claude Opus 4. Oh my god, I just called an AI model by a different name. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Oh no, don't worry. I used Claude Opus 4 to explain how this repo works. All right, so this is the fantasy map generator. This is what the fantasy map generator works. It's like a cool fantasy map generator. It's a cool fantasy map generator. So it generates like these cool maps dynamically on the spot, right? I didn't want to go through the repo. I didn't know what it worked, so I had o3-PRO do deep research on this code base. It went through 424 sources and gave me a fantasy map generator technical analysis on how this works. So it says that Asgard's fantasy map generator is a browser-based procedural generation system that creates detailed maps using mathematical algorithms. It uses Voronoi diagrams and a dual graph structure to do all of this. Now, I don't understand what any of that means, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it does matter for the AI system that I'm prompting. So I have the research saved here. All right, so I have the research saved here. I have the the locations research here. Now here's the thing I want everyone to keep in mind. Anytime you're doing research, anytime you're writing things in a to-do while you're coding, while you're doing things in general, anytime you speak into a transcript, anytime you record a team call, those are all prompts. Everything is a prompt. Everything should be a prompt. You should be min-maxing your prompt game to really optimize your efficiency. So in my case, I did research on a map generator that I wanted. Now I have the research on the map generator and how it works. So if I go, also by the way, I'm using repo prompt. This is my favorite thing to, let me not leak my EMV keys right now. So I really like repo prompt. This is my favorite tool because what it does is it lets me take my entire code base and then give it to o3-PRO, which is its main purpose right now. So in my case right now, I have my entire code base, right? So I'm gonna put this to the side. So I have my entire code base right here. What I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna take all my docs on how the entire thing works. Documentation, very important. And then I am going to take, what is so fat now? How fat is that? So my docs are 35K tokens. I wonder if o3-PRO in the UI could fit 200K. It's supposed to have 200K context. If it can't fit this, I'm gonna be kind of sad. So our goal right now, how can you create an AI? Join the Vibe Coder Discord and I will teach you. Link in bio. So I want the location map generator. Now remember, I wrote down in my to-do that I want to have a world map that gets created, especially since we provide the X, Y coordinates of locations. So I'm going to paste that in. So I'm like, I want to have a world map. And then I'm also going to explain that this locations.md. Oh, welcome. Okay, I'll get you sorted later, yeah? So I'm going to explain that I have this procedural map generator context I did research on. I did research on how this open source project does their procedural map gens. All right, so this is extra context to give to our smart AGI robot because God is hungry for context. So I'm gonna say map gen. I'm gonna paste that in and be like, this is how the map generator works. What I'm also gonna do, because God is hungry for context, is I'm gonna go to the Asgard fantasy map generator and I want to take a screenshot. I want to give an example of what it could generate. All right, so it kind of looks like stuff like this, but I don't have rivers. I don't have any of that. So I'm gonna explain. In our locations module, all we have are X and Y coordinates of locations, no rivers or anything fancy like that. If possible, I would like super simple design of how something like this could look. Now again, God is hungry for context. So one other thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to give it an example of what my database looks like with the locations we're working with so that it could see the different XY coordinates that the AI system generated and give me feedback on if these were valid AI coordinate generations, if we should delegate X and Y map coordinate generations to another AI system, if we should change the design of it, because that's what o3-PRO is good for. o3-PRO is really good for system design and handling that part. And I think that's why a lot of developers get really mad, because I was like thinking about it. I was talking to team. Turns out a lot of developers don't actually know how to be creative or know how to do design. They just know how to follow instructions. But I don't need coders who know how to follow instructions. I got AI that could follow my own instructions for me. I need like a team of creative designers that could do insane like design and architect. But oh wait, o3-PRO could do that for me now. So I need a middleman AI agent that could do all of this managing for me. I think is the main thing I want. So I'm gonna export this CSV file. I'm just gonna drag it into my code base so it has context of it. So I'm gonna say, in our locations module, all we have are X and Y coordinates of locations, no rivers or anything fancy like that. If possible, I'd like a super simple design of how we can create and display a map generator, play a map gen based on the AI locations it made that can be dynamically updated as the story progresses. Now it has all of the context and all of the information of how this works. I'm going to paste in also our super base. So I'm going to say example location super base. I'm going to paste that in. I'll be like, can you check if the XY locations make sense? It was AI gen. Also look over the location system. What's up, Shakti? We here, part 4. We already got the location module working, so we're running this joint. So I'm gonna say, can you check the XY location? Makes sense. It was AI gen. Also look over the location system and tell me if there's any design changes we should make for this map. Otherwise, if the existing X and Y is sufficient to make us a gen map, then please help make it. So I'm just gonna say to help make. I'm adding the architector prompt that we made earlier, and I'm gonna copy this, and I hope that the front end could take all of these tokens, because it likes to not take all these tokens. Oh, okay, it works. It took in 100K contacts. That would be really nice. That would be extremely nice, because the problem with O3 is that it didn't take the context. It broke at 70K context, which is dumb because the API has 200K context. This was 100K context, and it seems like o3-PRO happily took all of it. So that also changes the game a lot, conveniently, for people like me. Now, while we're waiting for this to design that whole thing for us, I saw that there was like a cursor. There was a cursor background agent thing now I wanted to check out. So cursor background agent. Your Magic Man said, Jesus, 400 sources? Yeah, that's insane, bro. Cursor background agents is good. How do I open a cursor background agent? Maybe in the updates? Hold on. I think there's an update. So I'm seeing a lot of chatter about cursor background agents. Background agents are currently in beta and privacy mode must be turned off to use background agents. With background agents, hold on, let's go. Let's look into the cursor. Let's look into the cursor docs, because I've been seeing a lot of chatter about this and I want to play with it. Overview of asynchronous remote agents in Cursor. With background agents, you can spawn asynchronous agents that can edit and run your code in a remote environment. At any point, you can view their status, send a follow-up, or take over. You can hit Command E to open the background agent control panel, which allows you to list your agents, spawn new ones, and view their status. Once you submitted a prompt, select your agent from the list to view the status and enter the machine that the agent is running in. So it runs in an isolated machine. Background agents can currently clone your repo from GitHub. They also do their work on a separate branch and push to your repo to make it easy for you to take over from them. This means you need to grant read-write privileges to your repo. In the future, you'll also support other base environment setup. For more advanced cases, you can set up the environment yourself. Bro, if he could clone my shit for me. Start commands. It's kind of gross. Only max mode compatible models are available to use for background agents. So here's the thing with O3 and with how cheap the pricing is. You know how insane AI agents are about to get? Like insane, like disgustingly, grossly insane they're gonna get. Okay, I want to try this. But I need to turn privacy mode off, which is kind of... Bugbot lets you automatically reviews your PRs and catches potential bugs and issues. Bro, they added the Bugbot update. One-click NCP install, background agent for everyone, agent in Jupyter notebooks. You have memories in Cursor. Bro, this is the best company in the world. Cursor's the most insane company in the world. It's like, I'm jealous, but I'm grateful for them because it couldn't be me if Cursor wasn't a thing. But they're also Zoomers. Well, I think they're older Zoomers than me by like a couple of years, but damn, that's insane. All right, give me... Okay, first, I need to quickly see. So a nice thing in Cursor, if you guys didn't know this was possible, is that you could actually at your repo. So you could at git. And in my current code base, I have these different changes on the side that we're working with. So I could ping my branch and be like, what are the changes that we made? Because I forgot the changes that we made. So while that's running, I want to see. So I hit Command E. What do I do? If you have privacy mode disabled, it's kind of whack. Disabled. Oh, there's so many. Wait. Create custom modes with specific models, tools, key bindings, and instructions tailored to your workflow. What is this? Create custom modes with specific models, tools, key bindings, and instructions tailored to your workflow. That's insane. Allow full contents of the selected folder to be included in context. Yes, that's kind of the whole point. MCP tool protection. Nah. You can run whatever you want. You can run whatever you want. Whatever you want, baby. I don't care. Okay. Generate memories. Learn your preferences automatically based on chat. That could be interesting. Just want to check it out. That could be interesting. Windsurf basically created a plan mode, which is NGL, very similar to your modules docs workflow. After Cursor got... What do you mean this rule may never be used? Always. So I'm not gonna lie, gang. After Cursor got their $900 million raise, I wouldn't believe in any, I wouldn't touch any other IDE. I would focus 100% of my focus on learning Cursor. That is the best thing you could do. Oh, also I added the Perplexity MCP to Cursor, which gives like my O3 agent the ability to just like use Perplexity to search up queries, which is really powerful. Context 7 is a good one. I need more MCP servers. Like I'm low-key getting really hooked on being an MCP maxi. It's growing on me. I hated it at first, but it's growing on me. But it's like I just wouldn't use I just wouldn't take the time and I wouldn't waste my energy learning any other IDE except Cursor. Why would you at this point? Cursor raised 900 mil. Their team is clearly correct. They have good designers on their team. They did this first. They have the vision. They have the money now in the capital to just send it. Anybody who takes the time to learn Cursor and workflows on a deeper scale is going to outpace every other developer in the entire world by far. And it's like, don't even think either like, oh, I just use Cursor. Like, I use the simple chat interface. I write in there. I vibe code. Like, no. There are learn MCPs. There's a new background agent thing we have to learn to maximize our workflow that duplicates branches and repos so that you can work individually. Learn how to like write the Cursor rules. Learn like good structure they know. Like there's so many things within Cursor itself besides the chat tab that just amplifies development. So we're gonna learn that right now on stream. How do background agents work? Start a background agent. Background agents run in the cloud, allowing agents to async work in your code base. Enable. Now this is a background agent. Huh. And it works at a longer horizon. It's very interesting. So one thing that I needed it to do, actually, hold on. So in these Git branches, the changes that we made is that we have module loading, location service updates, world AI integration. The major change is integrating location context into the world's AI generation system. Story AI service now injects location repo and includes location context in beat generation. Add a location repo based to AI calls. Add a location awareness with guidance to refer to the private list of current world locations to ensure narrative consistency. Enhance with location grounding. Ground your narrative in the provided current world locations. Changes must be consistent with their status and description. I feel like they are somewhat the same. Whenever Cursor creates something new, Windsurf is just going to copy it later. No, they are not the same. They are not the same. Added format location for AI. Okay. So, before we get on with more changes, let's test this real quick. Let's test if we, Vivo, so we're going to use OpenPipe right now. OpenPipe, for those of you who are not familiar, is an amazing way to debug AI agents that you work with. Very, very powerful way. Because you could just do a call and it shows you everything that goes into the AI system prompt. It shows you the tool calls you wanted to make. It shows you the gens and everything else it did. So it's really, really powerful for keeping track of everything and debugging and keeping track of pricing. So I have OpenPipe set up because right now we just did a change where I needed to give the world generation story system more context of what goes on. So because I'm giving it more context of what goes on, I need to test if it actually does get that context to progress the story. Now I have this world. Well, I had this world. Oops. So I have this world. Moo Kingdom. We have different locations. Very quickly, I'm gonna ask in here. So if I start an arc, does it keep the locations in mind on generation? Or is it only for dynamically creating a beat? So we did some changes that I don't really remember from last time. So what I do a lot too is I will casually talk to like Claude for Sonnet or talk to an AI agent to talk about my code base to just make sure things work as I expect them to work. So it's just a good extra context that speeds up the understanding process of all the different code that means. So I asked if I start an arc, does it keep the locations in mind on generation? It says yes. Based on the changes in this branch, arc generation is now fully location aware. So when I start a new arc, it gets a location context, AI gets location context. So arc anchors reference existing locations, story consistency, new arcs build on established places. Location states matter. If a city was destroyed in the previous arc, the new arc will acknowledge this. Narrative grounding. Story events will be tied to actual world geography. So when you create a new arc, the AI will have full knowledge of all existing locations. So let's test that. I click create new arc. I'm creating a brand new arc. The model is running, is doing the AI call. We got our beat, and it looks like if we go, based on the first read, it seems like it does work. Now, if we go to OpenPipe and we debug this, we can see the call, and we can see the current world locations are added 100% fully to the system prompt, which is perfect, but it's cut off. So I don't like that. So I'm gonna take this real quick. And this is super quick prompt where I'm like at o3, I'm gonna just like drag my core, my docs. Because again, o3 has 200k context in API, which is insane. So you could really just drag these full folders and it could really just run shit out for you. So I'm gonna grab my entire SRC and I'm gonna grab my documentation. And then I'm just gonna say that when we add location context into the world AI calls via world location, literally just explain the text is cut off. I need 100% of the description and all the stats plus tags to be shown. So I want everything. I want everything involving locations to be shown. So I want the region. I want to know, like, so we already have the region that it is. We already have the status of it. We already have the location name, the description. I want the tags. So I want the tags. I want to need 100% of the description and all the tags to be shown as well. Tags at the end should look like tags, tag. So that's gonna one-shot that, so I ain't even gotta worry about that no more. So I'm just brushing that to the side because that's how good o3-PRO is, especially because it's 87% cheaper. Now o3-PRO initially is still thinking about the coordinate maps. From our first o3-PRO, it reasoned for 12 minutes and 42 seconds. So a common pattern that is found in research papers is that when an AI model, the longer you let an AI model think, the smarter the response is. But reasoning for longer takes more GPU and takes more power, so it's pretty costly. That's why o3-PRO is here. So it's good that it reasons for a really long time. I just wish we could see more of its thoughts because it's not really helpful. The fact that we can't see. He took 12 minutes and 42 seconds to ask me questions to explore it deeper. Oh, but this is deep. You're not using much Bolt for this Bolt hackathon? Well, I'm creating the backend API, and then I'm gonna do the front end with Bolt. I like to showcase how easy it is to build a front end with Bolt. When it comes to the backend, it's just o3 is out. I'm hoping that loop counts. Based on the rules, it does count. It says majority of the focus should be on Bolt. So I'll just spend majority of the focus on designing a really pretty front end because I get hyper focused on perfecting front ends. So, but it says we could use other code AI agents. We could use other AI agents and stuff. As long as we host it on Bolt and has the Bolt badge, it should count. Yes, that's why we're leaving the back end. That's why we're leaving the front end here very, very, very plain, so that we could create the user experience on Bolt. But I need a good API backend in order to make that front end web app. Otherwise, it's going to be tough. And this is also way easier to work with. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't count for the Bolt hackathon, at least I made a project that I actually genuinely wanted to make and haven't wanted to make for a while that I could share with the world. So I'm okay with it. Let me see. Plus o3-PRO just came out, bro. You expect me to not use o3-PRO? It's like shooting myself in the foot. Okay, I'm glad you said it makes sense. Let's hope it makes sense to the judges. But the other thing in the hackathon was like, oh, this is like to show your idea and everything to the world. I was like, all right. So let's see what this do. Compose a bullet entry that contains the full description and one present, an explicit tag list in the format tags. We purposely avoid truncating description because downstream world level AI prompts rely on complete semantic context. Line preserves readability while keeping the entire entry a single markdown. So let's test it. If I progress the story with no world events, everything seems to work. Story has been progressed. If you refresh, you can see that next anchor point, arc overview. These are good. Now we got the current world locations. That is fantastic. There's one thing I'm noticing where it's saying to generate the next beat of this world's ongoing story. However, our AI system has actually no way of understanding what the current beat is. So I'm going to save all these changes because these are really, really good changes to save. So let's go get our dot. Git commit M. Git commit M. Format event, format location context. That's good. Kind of a lazy, I'm a lazy boy, so I'm like, write a commit message for me, please. Write a commit message for me and all our changes, please. At git branch diff. Now there is, let me see. Overthink your app model. So what do I have to get done? So this is why it's good for me to write a to-do list. Otherwise I get hyper-focused on a bunch. We need to save the X, Y coordinates of locations. That's done. I want to have a world map that gets generated, that gets created, especially since we provide the XY coordinates of locations. I want to intake all the core current locations in the core system prompt from Superbase. That's done. We need to create the faction module. We need to create the character module. We need to ensure proper handling and fallback for AI core and all AI cores. That's something we do. Create the locations module, create the factions module, create the characters module. Also, one thing I'm going to do on Bolt as well, just to make it more focused. Especially because this is day 4, day 5. And I have 20 days left in the hackathon. It's only been 10 days. So I plan on like hopefully hard cutoff 15th. And then only working everything else on Bolt. So that I could at least say 51% of the work was on Bolt. In the meantime, they also update Bolt and make it easier based on user feedback. So it's nicer to work. It's all about that's efficiency. So we'll go in. We have a nice commit message it made for us. So I'm gonna git commit, git add dot, git commit M. This is the message. Paste that in. Bad pattern. I mean bad pattern. Try this. Git commit M. No matches found. Can I not have it say git commit M? There you go. Okay, we push that. We have this. Oh, thank you for the follow, Kishore. What's up, gang? Okay. So we check our request logs. You can see that we get the why was it still cut off? Was still cut off. Hold on. I'm gonna say so it doesn't show tags and it's still cut off. Maybe it doesn't understand. Maybe something else is cutting it off. So I'm gonna say it's still cut off and doesn't show tags. Perhaps it has something to do with the AI core or the world module cutting it off as it gens stories. Can we add, wait, maybe it has logging to see what the full, maybe we could add debug logging. We could also add debug logging to figure out, I mean, this is the debug log technically. See, it didn't even show tag despite, unless it's because I forgot to like restart it. That could be one if I progress the story now. Let's see. We did, okay, it worked first try. We just forgot to restart the server. Ooh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Cool, so now we get the full location context. World events. We get the previous world states. There's one thing I'm noticing. There's like previous world states and the next anchor point. So like this is also something I could one shot where I'm like, oh, I go over here. And then I'm gonna say that in the world module and designs on how this shit should work. So I'm gonna drag the core. Like I don't need the location module in there, and I also don't need the front end in there. I guess I'll drag shared in there too. So I have my docs, I have my world, I have my core, I have my shared. And then in the world module, I'm like, generate the next beat for this world's ongoing story. Arc overview should 100% go. Maybe I have to like manually fix this. If I search up arc overview, in dynamic beat prompts. So this is where the magic happens. So I could just do this. So I think we have world name. So I'm gonna say world name. World name. Generate the next beat in the description. This is the world name. This is the world description. This is the current beat index. We should have the arcs detailed in description here. I don't know why we have that. Arc overview should be here. Current arc overview. On these all caps. World name, world description, current beat index, current arc overview, current world locations, recent world events, previous world states, next anchor points. So it does show that in previous world states we have beat 0, we have beat 1, but it has the next anchor point, but it doesn't understand how these beats should work. So if I grab this now and then I say world anchor point, world anchor points. So the story is supposed to generate using Hollywood's edited save the cat storytelling structure. But this is what a full prompt looks like with the system. So I'm gonna copy this. And then I'm gonna paste, this is beat gen example. Generate beat gen example. Generates beat gen example. So I'm gonna paste this in. This story is supposed to generate Hollywood's edited Save the Cat storytelling structure. However, it doesn't seem to understand. However, it doesn't seem to understand how it's supposed to structure. So if I go to Save the Cat, implementing Save the Cat storytelling framework, I want to copy this chat. Of this. I want this full chat copied. However, it doesn't seem to understand how it's supposed to structure the next anchor points following the script for each beat. All it sees is next anchor points without knowing the beat name. And it has no context on how it should generate this current beat in conjunction with the Save the Cat storytelling framework. So if I grab this entire prompt, I wonder how good O3 is at stuff like this. Save the Cat explanation. That should definitely go. Like what I just wrote up here should not be hidden in that. So I go bottom, paste that. See what O3 does. I just want to abuse O3 now, not pause. I just want to maximize the usage and the value I get from O3 because it's such a good model. Jesus Christ, I just spilled milk on me. No. Man. It was a practical two-part fix that will give Claude the exact dramatic lens it's missing and guarantee every new beat is written in the correct Save the Cat role. Oh, this is good. Inject that context into every dynamic beat prompt. Update your beat prompt builder so Claude receives the current beat's label and purpose, a reminder that this beat must fulfill that purpose, anchor aware wording. How to use everything you write must serve that purpose. Do not jump ahead to later Save the Cat beats. Beat purpose, beat info. Claude now sees exactly which structural slot it's filling. The hard to serve this purpose line prevents it from freeforming a random anchor style dump. Because the same map is imported by both the service layer and the prompt, you never risk drift. If you decide beat 5 should read Rising Chaos, change it in one place and all prompts stay in sync. That's good. That solves that exact problem that I was thinking about. I forgot how good O3 is. Can you implement that into our code now, please? And paste this in. Can you implement that into our code now, please? Same app is imported by both service and front. We should also show what beat the next anchor point is. That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. That is a really, really good fix. I agree with that. That makes sense. So that serves that purpose. With that, so now we have location module and now location context is now showed up there. We generate the next beats. We're gonna add the beat description so it knows exactly what beat to generate. We have the current world locations. We now have tags. We now have worlds that could evolve. Now, one thing is, do locations dynamically react based on... I need to see how this works. I need to see if our world locations react based on the narrative. If so, how does it react? So can you explain how our locations module reacts to beats getting genned? Because these are all still the same. I don't know if anything happened with these. So I'm asking Claude 4 Sonnet to explain how, because our location module should also be dynamically updating every time. That's what I'm looking for. Every time the world beat moves forward. So anytime the world beat moves forward like this, the location module should read that and should read the result of the next beat and use that to potentially edit the location. Ooh. Location system tweaks worth making for each other map. Make relative X, relative Y not null for all non-region rows. Guarantees front end can always drop a pin. Lets you draw a faint circular outline for regions. Add a composite unique index on world ID relative X, relative Y. Prevents two places sharing the exact pixel. Migration. Store an SVG layer in a world maps table. Lets advanced users replace or stylize the auto map. Front end can subscribe via web market and animate marker movement in real time. This is making us a map on the spot. This is good. It's pretty simple. Not bad. It's basically saying that the XY coordinates I already have make sense for a map. Nothing is conflicting in terms of making the map. This is what a front end could look like based on the XY coordinates of a map. And that we could emit a chords updated event whenever chords change so that the front end could subscribe to the WebSocket and animate marker movement in real time. So I'm going to save that for later because I don't want to hard focus on... Maybe this is one-shottable. Perhaps this is one-shottable. Oh, let's try it. Shit. Okay, when a beat is generated, it emits a world beat generated event. The location service sets up event listeners. When a beat is created, handle beat calls to react beat, which gathers context, beat directives, emergent storylines, current state. Come here. 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 Alright, my cat's trying to hop on. Go. 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 Hi. Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. Hello. Hello, my good kitty. You're so cute. Hi. Should have a kitty cam. Should have a kitty cam later. Yeah. Now, the one thing I'm not too sure about the AI uses specialized prompts that analyze the beat and determine location status, updates, discoveries, location ID reason, ID of the location to update, status, text append to location, beat description if adding detail, narrative reason for the change. Cities near swamp, status changes to declining, healthy mountain discoveries. This creates a living world where dynamic beats cascade. Keep streaming, brother. You have a long way to go. Came from Twitter. I know. I'll keep going. if anything, even when I don't have people in chat, like I have to keep doing this for practice. I have to keep talking out loud. I have to explain my process. I have to explain the full, like the full shebang to build the skill up for later. And it's something I have to stay consistent with, not for days, not for months, but for years. And it's been about, in terms of video making, only a couple months. I adapt quick, but I got a long way to go. I'll be right back. Hold on. I have napkins? Oh, no. But no, I'm very, very excited to make this. Like, I'm a huge fucking D&D nerd, so I'm just happy to make something I love and have the opportunity to share it and stream it. So, okay, apply changes. So it should be calling an AI, but it's not. So I'm gonna be like, see, this should be happening. This should be happening, but it's not. No AI calls go through anytime I progress a story. And see why. I too want to do this, man. It looks like you have become a motivation for me. Aw, keep doing it and keep on reminding me the same. I literally felt the happiness via the screen. I will always remind y'all the same. It's just a grind, bro. It's a grind that has its ups. It's a grind that has its downs, and it's a grind that has to progress forward, no matter what. This should be happening, but it's not. It's because of capitalization. Damn it. Okay, well, what happens here? What was this change? So this change. What's new? Shared story, save the cat. Canonical 0 to 14, save the cat beat map. Index label purpose. Build dynamic user prompt now receives label purpose and injects them plus task scaffolding. Import save the cat beats. Looks up current beat metadata, passes label and purpose in a prompt builder. Claude now knows exactly which structural beat it's writing and why, preventing random anchor drift. Prompt includes beat purpose and an explicit save this purpose reminder. Single beat map, keep structure dry. Change once, update everywhere. Perfect, perfect. Stop thinking about vibe coding, bruh. You'll become lazy. Yeah, don't listen to this bozo in chat. See, because people think vibe coding includes being lazy, but there's workflows that go into it. There's system design and creative thinking that goes into it. All vibe coding really is. There's a lot of developers out there in the world who they're only good at following instructions. They're only good at being told what to do. They're only good at receiving the design map and coding it. I don't need them. I have AI systems and AI agents that are so good now, especially with the new ones that came out. They follow my instructions precisely to a spot. You could give them access to tools to search the internet. You could give them access to do research for you. You could give them access to look up documentation and design like these maps. And once you give them a plan, they code it for you. Why would I wait? Let me tell you guys a personal story real quick. There's a project I was working on, and people volunteered to help me. I hired some people to help me. I told them what I needed done, and it took them a week and a half to get me back less than 100 lines of code. Now, when I got it back, shit sucked. Didn't work. I couldn't even use it. I asked Claude, because around that same time, that's when Claude 3.5 Sonnet just came out. I asked Claude 3.5 Sonnet to do the exact same thing I asked that human developer to do, who had years of experience. In 30 seconds, it made a far better code base that did exactly what I needed, that actually worked, and supported all of the users attacking the site at once that a human dev couldn't do. It took 30 seconds. And people think that vibe coding is about being lazy. It's about being a leader. Vibe coding is about being a leader. It's not about being fucking lazy. It's about knowing what you want. It's about knowing exactly what you need done and getting AI agents to do it for you. Now, people who say vibe coding suck, they're just not leaders, and that's okay. Not everybody is a leader. But in the world of AI, in the world of AI agents, in the world we have specialized AI agents that could do things for us in mass, if we command an army of them, if you're a shit commander, you're gonna have shit results. And that's not my fault, it's your fault. Get better, bro. Get fucking better. Anyways, going back to commanding my army of AI agents in Cursor. So now we have the world AI adapter, and you should implement the beats, and this was fixed so that world beat created should now be in tune with this. Now, if I run the dev, what is the problem thing? Let me think of what needs to be done logically, and you should do it code-wise. Yeah, see, I have a little silly thing where I also have o3-PRO do the system architecture design for me, and I just like overlook it. So I treat o3-PRO and I treat these high-level systems as like it's literally a co-founder, right? It's like it's a partner, it's a co-extension of me, but they're 1,000 times smarter than me, and I just kind of go, I like that, or I don't really like that. That's my role. That's my role. But o3-PRO is so good, it creates really good architecture and system design for me. O3 is now 87% cheaper, so we can just spam it in Cursor. And there's not really an excuse. This is really yesterday changed vibe coding, again, as it always does, forever. So it's a lot better. And unfortunately, developers who don't see the vision and hold this hatred, you know what the problem is? It's a saltiness. It's a saltiness in their mouth. It's a hatred for this new technology because they think it's gonna replace them. And that's where they're wrong. Because they think it's gonna replace them, it is gonna replace them. But if you see AI as something that augments your existing skill, it's not gonna fucking replace you. It's gonna make you irreplaceable. And that's the problem. The problem, as it has always been in the entirety of humanity, in the entirety of the hustle, in the entirety of the grind, is a mindset. If you think that AI is gonna replace you and you fear it and you hate it and you don't use it, guess what? It's gonna fucking replace you. Now, if you don't have that mindset and you're more open-minded to it, and you actually take the time to learn this insane skill and throw your ego away, because your ego is gonna kill you, bro. And you throw that away and you take the time to learn this, you'll start learning, wait, I have a specific workflow. I have a different way of coding. I have a unique way of coding. If I use AI for this process, it will amplify it to a greater degree. Everyone works uniquely. I love AI because I have a very specific workflow I work. I have really bad ADHD. I have like 1,000 divergent trees and branches of thoughts that happen at the same time that all think about different things and all cover different angles of my life. Because I have AI agents that could essentially like mimic each of my thought branches for me, all I gotta do is just like spit nonstop. And I don't have to worry about losing a thought. I don't have to worry about like losing an idea because it just does it for me. This is a brain extension. And if you can't see it as a brain extension, you just fucking suck. NPM run dev. Anyways. Let's see how this works. So, we got our modules working on the side. Ultimate test. I'm gonna create a new world. This is be index 0714, generate world anchor. See how this works. So let's do a test where it's like the world. I'm just call it Earth. The current state of Earth. So now we have a world which is just Earth. And we should be creating locations for the current state of Earth. That's exactly what I'm learning from these streams. It is really cool to see all the natural reactions and thinking which is involved in coding. Bro, all coding is thinking. Coding is 99% thinking, 1% doing. All you do is think. But now you don't have to do because AI agents do it for you. As long as you think, as long as you have the ideas, as long as you can be the thinker, then we can focus on things like distribution, marketing, growing as content creators. Because in the age of AI, guess what? Your individual skill as a developer, as someone who could write and understand code, is far and exceedingly less important. You need the lovable cursor combo so you aren't starting from complete scratch. I don't like lovable. I like starting from scratch. I also have like templates and like different prompt templates I use. Came from Twitter to see a fellow vibe coding streamer. New meta. Ooh. I do want to know what your lovable cursor combo is. But I start from complete scratch because I don't trust the IDEs. I don't trust like things like Lovable to like make things for me. Like I prefer to do it from scratch, and I prefer to like design the architecture. So I have this combo, which you'll probably find really powerful. It definitely switches up because new models came out. But I have like this full combo in which I will first use like o3 to do the master architecture design. I have it do deep research on an idea I have and how I should best implement it, make modular structure, make it easier to vibe code. And then I convert the research into instructions, which we then give to Claude Code. And then it one-shots like insane things for us, right? And then now when you want to take that base architecture that you made and start working within Cursor, there's this other powerful video in which we make cursor rules. And having really good cursor rules makes it really easy to like fucking amplify and stack and run this. So that's what I have for this code base, where I have like cursor rules that explain the tech stack and the styling guidelines and all of these. And then it just makes working with o3 and cursor like really powerful. So there's like the workflow's similar, but it starts drifting every time. I'm saying like starting a concept from your project and import it into Cursor and expand from there. Oh yeah, well, hundo, you could definitely do stuff like that. I think that's dope. But I don't use Lovable to do stuff like that. I use different. I just make the project from scratch. Especially because like in one prompt, when you get all of it done, I think the problem with things like Lovable and these like product platforms is like they want to make money off you. It's kind of the whole point. So it's like, I mean, Cursor does too, for the most part. But they have to limit like the really good models away from you so they can make money. Brother, I am facing a problem. I'm trying my happiness to code tasks. If I get successful execution, I get happy. And if I get stuck in an error, I got completely irritated and just damage my whole day. Cursor is AGI at this point. How do you deal with this? Well, there's two underlying principles to that problem that you have. One is your brain is stuck in a dopamine loop where you only feel motivated if you get successful execution. Now, if you get stuck in an error, you get irritated and it damages your whole day. I feel your problems. That is just a typical quarter problem. Let me tell you, I have had bugs that I've been stuck on for a week straight. I had bugs that took me 54 hours to bang my head against the fucking wall to try to figure out. Every single time it was just one line I had to change, and I was like doing all these extra things, and it was like, oh, if I just like look. So it's just a part of coding is understanding debugging, is understand. It's like debugging and coding is always a game of 20 questions, right? You're like trying to figure out, is this a problem? Nope, that's not the problem. Cross that off the list. Is that the problem? Nope, that's not the problem. Cross that off the list. It could be this one. Nope, that's not the problem. Cross off the list. Eventually, after banging your head against the wall long enough, you start like really limiting what the actual like problem is gonna be, and then you find it, and then you solve it, and you move on till you face the next problem again. What you learn in that process is how to debug and all of these debugging flows. One like most basic advice that I could give is to log your code deeply. Do as much logging as you can. Ask AI to write debug logs for you. I have like centralized. Now, if you watch this video, this will help you a lot because I explained like my logging guidelines too. But ask AI to debug your code for you. Add success, add info, add debug, add trace. Log everything. Log every full output. Because as you create these logs, you know what you're doing at the same time? You're getting context for AI to work and help debug your problem. The AGI monster needs context. The AGI monster needs as much context as possible to help you, especially if you're not as technical. Now, this is a skill you build up over time. It is an irritation that you have to bang your head against the wall. Now, other most important advice when it comes to debugging and when it comes to coding is to take a break. That's the best advice I could give. There has been many times where I get stuck on a bug and I go work out, or I go meditate, or I go to the beach, or I go for a walk, or I eat food, or I do whatever, and I like step away from my computer, and I come back and I solve the bug in like 5 seconds because my mind was cleared up. It's easy to get in a loophole where you're just like spamming and slamming away, especially if you don't feel tired. But trust me, you are mentally exhausted. Just not physically exhausted, but mentally exhausted. Your brain starts turning into slush. So you need to take a break. I personally meditate before I get into a coding session. I take 90-minute, I try to do like, besides this 4-hour stream, if I'm like actually doing work, I'll do like 90-minute work sessions, and then I'll take a 10-minute meditation break, and then I'll do another 90-minute work session, and then I'll like take a food break, or I'll go work out. And you basically want to maximize like the health of your brain and the health of your psyche, psychological health, to ensure that you're always outputting maximum creativeness, maximum efficiency with your brain. That's the best advice I could give. So, do we have the locations for Earth? We have the Earth's locations. We have Africa. We have the Asia, Pacific, Europe, North America, South America, London, New York, Sao Paulo, Tokyo, Grand Canyon, Mount Everest. Walking and listening to music is my coping. Me too. Sahara Desert. Me too, bro. What kind of music are you into? So now if I create a new arc and say World War III, and I create this arc, what does it say? Generating the world angers. This works. Earth is in a relative state of relative stability. The music that is slowed. Nah, I like the music that is slowed, especially slowed and reverbed. The slowed and reverbed hits. It's so good. A sudden and unprecedented technological breakthrough leads to the accidental release of a new weaponized AI system. Whoa, wait. Whoa. What is this world arc? Hold on. A sudden technological breakthrough leads to the accidental release of a powerful new weaponized AI system, which quickly spirals out of control. This event shatters the fragile balance of peace, triggering a cascade of military and cyber conflicts. Nations scramble to respond as the AI influences global communications, weapon systems, and even manipulates economic markets. The world teeters on the brink of open warfare with alliances strained and trust eroded. World directives: contain and disable the rogue AI system, mobilize international cooperation and prevent escalation, mitigate the weaponization of emerging technologies. Emergent storylines: players form alliances to combat the AI threat, research factions race to develop countermeasures. Civil unrest and conspiracy theories proliferate as society questions reality and control. Yo! Why did an AI generate that? Why did I put World War III and an AI generated that storyline? The world begins in a fragile state of peace held together by diplomatic efforts. However, underlying tensions, the catalyst, the accidental release of a rogue AI shatters. Why did AI generate that? Why did AI generate that? That's the reason for World War III? Should I be scared? Should I be worried? Should I be worried about that, Jen? Hello? There got be index 0, world directives, and the arc detail description. And then it generates this. We cook, boys. Of course AI wants to have, we're so cooked. What do we do? So these are the current world locations. And this is the story. Input seed, World War III. And this is GPT 4.1 nano, by the way. This is just 4.1 nano. It's not even supposed to be that smart of a model. And it just said, yep, rogue AI, World War III. Okay. Alright. A new world order emerges. God damn it. Following extensive efforts to contain AI and adapt to new technological landscape, Earth gradually stabilizes into a radically transformed world. Societies are reshaped by new governments models prioritizing transparency, cybersecurity, ecological resistance. So that's the anchor point, right? So now if I progress a story, does it take the context of what the next beat should be? If not, then we have to fix that before we can move into the faction module. If it does work, then we can move on to the faction module. So let's see. Ah, look at that. Look at that. I do pay for cursor. And then I also have like the past my limit thing. Beat purpose. First hints of instability. Stake solo. World context. World name, Earth. World description. The current state of Earth. Current arc overview. Current world locations. Recent world events. Previous world events. Beat 0. Next anchor point. The next anchor point should show what beat it is. Let's say this looks good, but the next anchor point needs to show what beat number in the index it is. Actually, I'm gonna take this JSON and copy this. It'd be like OT, example output. If you have a student email, fuck, unfortunately I'm a college dropout, so I lost my email. It's a GG's. So we have our tags, we have our task. I do kind of like how it split it up. Recent world events, previous world states, next anchor point. Now my question is, it didn't seem to react when the beat was generated. Did it? No. Say these are example logs. These are example logs. This is what logged when I created a new world, created an art, and progressed it. When you change the location service, we'll receive an event. Did the location service react to it? Let's see. But this is a cool project. What are you making anyways? I'm making an infinite self-evolving AI world engine that any game developer could implement via SDK. This is so I can make an infinite D&D game. See, the AI failed to understand. So, okay, this is more of like a prompting thing on my end that I gotta fix. So this is anchor point to build to. So the problem here is that it shouldn't know the next anchor point. So recent world events, previous world states, previous world states, recent world events don't record, previous world states, B0. Okay, that looks good. What is this doing? I'm getting rid of my ARC ID. Makes no sense. Hold up. But it crashed before it could send the AI call? Why did it crash? Cannot read properties. The payload directive. Why are you getting rid of my ARC ID? Why did you get rid of ARC ID? I don't know the reasoning behind that. So it did work, but then it crashed. That's because it lacked directives and emergent arrays. So these didn't work. So getting rid of beat name. What's up, Cindy? ArcID was limited because the existing story beat created type didn't define it, so TypeScript rejected the property. Oh. Well, that is a fault on my end. World event log. World arc completed events. ArcID is the most important thing as it keeps all the worlds. It keeps all the stories in check for a world. All world events logged or beats are tied to an ArcID. Also, yeah, that's my fault for not checking out the structure of that, because that is bad. Bad design. Bad design. My bad, gang. In the meantime, for this one, you can go to AI adapter. It now shows the beats. So if we go to the prompts. So again, this is what it returns. But this looks dumb. So let's add our hashtags back. Current world locations, recent world events, previous world states. And this is the current world context. Oh, I kind of like this though. It looks cool. World context. World name, world description, current arc overview. No, beat's purpose should actually be down here. I think it should look more like world context, world name, world description, current arc overview, current world locations. No, this, hold on. Next anchor points. So I think we just need better descriptions. Better descriptions explaining this part is like what's going to be the most important. So the problem is that for beat 1, it generated text about beat 7. We should not know that the rogue AI dropped here yet, but that is because of a system prompt. So that's an AI-sided error. So we have the world context, world name, world description. We have to, this is generate the next beats purpose. So I think very simple. Very simple is this. Generate the next beats purpose. How to use this is extra information here saying, so this is your goal, is to generate the next beats. Goal, generate the next beats. Beat purpose is this. Next anchor point. You are building up towards this beats anchor point based on world events. So that should keep it. Generate compelling beat. I guess it should be like how to generate next beats, beat purpose, how to use this, next anchor point. I think next anchor point should go right here. So you are building up towards this beat anchor point based on world events. How to use this. Everything you write, description, directives, conflicts must serve that purpose. Do not jump ahead to later save the cat beats. This is world context. This is the current world locations, recent world events, previous world states, beat purpose, task. All cool. How you been, Cindy? What you up to, girl? What's good? Your job is to generate the next beats. Okay. So that seems good. Seems like a good little system prompt there. That should help. So beat number is now included. Meanwhile, this motherfucker. So we get, what is the V? What is the V? It's just add version control for some reason. So events, world directive, world service, events. Story be created. This provides the crucial arc ID and restores beat name for downstream/UI. World event logged. I guess we'll keep the V. Loving your streams. I've been vibe coding too. Yay! That's good. What are you working on? What have you been vibe coding? I need an overarching view of the types here real quick. I need an overarching view of the types here real quick. This is like a o3-PRO prompt I want to try. So I want to say that yay! I want to say that for the world service types in event.ts, I noticed that not every type contains the, wait. Like, why don't you contain arc ID? Event ID? World event? Logged event? World ID? Not every type contains the arc ID. Like, world event, logged event doesn't contain type, doesn't contain arc ID. But all world events are tied to a beat, to an arc, and tied to a beat. World events are always beat and arc specific. World arc created just world ID, arc name. I just want to make sure our types make sense so we don't get screwed in future development. I mean, I might keep it pretty plain just to see what it thinks. Can you overlook this system and bring clarity / a better design if needed to it, please? So right now I'm using o3-PRO as the code reviewer. Because a lot of people, the big thing people say when you vibe code is, oh, you're going to add so many tech debt to your code. The fuck? Just have it remove your tech debt. You can't have tech debt if you're not technical. Let's paste that in and see if that works. In the meantime, let's retry that from scratch. Let's retry a generation from scratch. Let's call this hell. Damnate, damn. R3F website based on a block of Bitcoin and also a token gating product for ordinals. I'll share on your Discord. Oh, that's fire. So I'm creating a new world called hell. Now, hell is generating locations. So there's one thing I wanted to do. There's one thing that just came up in my head, in which right now the problem with us creating a new world is that I have to use Quad Sonnet 4 because it doesn't generate the right things. So I'm like, I kind of want to amplify that system where instead of generating all the locations at once, we generate it back to back. So we generate each region. So first we have an AI agent. Let me write this down because this is a valuable prompt. Let me put this into o3-PRO first. before I start yapping. I need you to capture these thoughts for me. Also, this is good to see how O3 does at agent design architecture. Right now, our location module will generate every single location at once at the same time based on a call. The problem with this is that lesser, dumber models don't understand and fail to do the proper tool calls. I'm thinking there's an easier way. Instead of just one single AI call to generate all the locations, we had one AI agent that set what we should gen. Like, this world should have X amount of regions, X amount of cities, X amount of things. These are the general points of the X and Y, because we make a map with the function calls in the tool. So it's very important to not mess up the coordinates so that we could have consistent gens. And then I was thinking, when we have like the general manager set all of the worlds, like the regions, the cities, the locations, the wilderness, the landmarks, etc., everything that's needed, then we could have another AI agent, or at least another LLM prompt each one by one, and then it gets added into the system. This is just so if it doesn't fail, this is just to like make the system more streamlined, allow us to use smaller models for doing generations and updates. Also, I want you to overlook how we update, how locations react to story beats, and ensure that there's an easy way for the AI agent managing the story location system to, based on the story beat input it receives, understand what it should update and allow it to update many things at once, potentially through the same strategy. Can you give a small 2-minute talk on how you route multiple APIs? Yeah, just Open Router. So you go to Open Router, and you have a quick start. Get started with Open Router. It uses the OpenAI SDK. Now here is the easiest part. You just copy this example code. It uses the OpenAI SDK. Right? And if you go to models in Open Router, you could replace that with any model here. Any model here. Literally just copy this. You want that model, boom, paste in that model. Now you're using that model. Now how I use OpenPipe is this. OpenPipe does something silly where you install the OpenPipe SDK. Do you still use WebSim sometimes? No. WebSim is just for like basic beginners or like making something fun. I just code everything. It's like there's no point when you get to the point of like coding, like there is no point in using any of these platforms, because you could just code yourself raw using like the AI tools. Like Cursor is like ultimately the point you should get to. You should not rely on these tools as you start learning over time. They're really fun beginner tools. They're really fun if you're not going to take it that seriously. But being a developer, being like software engineering is my full-time job. Like I am the CTO of 2 companies. I need to understand this at a deeper level. Like it's kind of the thing I have to do. But it is really fun. Anyways, back to the OpenPipe SDK thing. So the OpenPipe SDK allows you to install OpenPipe. Now the funny thing is from the example of OpenPipe, what it asks you to do is to replace the OpenAI SDK import with the OpenPipe SDK import. So it looks like this. Import OpenAI from OpenPipe/OpenAI, and then you add the OpenPipe parameter here with your API key and the base URL if you want. Then with Open Router, if you look back, is we are just using the OpenAI SDK. So all you have to do is copy this code, right? Install OpenPipe and replace this line with import OpenAI from OpenAI, and then just add the OpenPipe parameter here. So in my code, it looks something like this. This is literally it. Like, don't worry about the bottom part. Just focus on the top part. That is it. Now by doing this, you now have Open Router. You could use any single model you want to route it. And you have OpenPipe, so you can start tracking the different request logs that you're working with. What I do in every code base that makes this so powerful is I create a centralized AI route that sets up this Open Router, OpenAI, or this Open Router, OpenPipe combo as a core utility file that we import anytime we want to use AI in our code base. Anytime we want to use AI in our code base, we import the client. I love o3-PRO. I'm actively using it right now. It's running in the background. We'll get to it. Now, the thing with this is that I require metadata in the responses. So you can see here, do I not? Hold up. Hold up. Tools. Am I not asking for metadata? I swear I am. Why is my metadata not showing here? Module prompt ID. Hold on. Hold on. Show filters. Why is it not showing? Prompt ID. June 4. Okay, so what's supposed to happen, and I seem like I don't do this anymore, so I need to fix it, is that I define metadata interface, because if we add metadata to the OpenAI calls, it allows us to track exactly where that came from, when it came from, what it came from, etc. It's metadata that's really good for tracking OpenPipe stuff. So I set up a metadata type that I require every single call to do. Now here's the thing. I'm not using Zod schema for this, so it's not taking it seriously, but I am using Zod schema for I'm using Zod schema for this. Thanks, WebSim. I think WebSim is still fun. I would happily do a WebSim stream or a video if you guys wanted me to. No, it doesn't. It's not that it doesn't show up in Nano. It's that I fucked it up. But before it was messed up, I add the metadata here. So now we're gonna do an update. So we're gonna amplify the system real quick because it's very, very important. Yo, this boy is just cooking, bro. Oh, I forgot to paste this in. Oh, what I was gonna do is I was gonna take my I was gonna take the prompt where it generates a location. So this one. No, wait, no, not these. Sorry, no filter. This one, generate world map. So it's gonna take the JSON inputs and then be like world builder prompt. And then this is the output. So I'm gonna copy this output. World builder outputs. He said, thanks a lot for explaining all this legit AI masterclass right here. I got you, baby. That's what I do. So remember, God is hungry for context. We need to give as much context as possible. Because I'm asking o3-PRO to give me, to criticize and help me amplify this system, I need to give it this AI system, I need to give it the input and the output. So world builder inputs. Let me not change that from prompt. Let me make this say inputs. World builder input, right now our location module to ensure they're the same strategy. So this all looks good. I could copy all of this code in. So I'm gonna copy that. And I'm gonna paste that in. Now this is helping us with our event types. This is helping us with our location structure. Did I paste this into 2 different chats? Oh, I totally did 2 different chats for that. Oops. Did I? No. Wait. Yes. I'll keep these 2. I'll close this. Keep this one. This is the location module AI update. There was one other chat that I was doing. No? Or is it just types? It's types. A update. I just lost my train of thought. Types location module updater. Oh, and then I wanted to do a new one. I wanted to do a new one for the AI module. See, but I don't think the AI thing is like gonna require that deep thinking. So I just want to use cursor. I just want to use O3 and cursor because it's so good. Also very important, especially because we have O3 and cursor and it's cheaper. You want to make sure this option right here, the enable full context option, include full folder context, allow full contents of the selected folder to be included in context, is enabled. It's a very, very important part that we absolutely do want to work with. So I'm going to go here and I am going to say our AI module, our AI core should require metadata. So I want to explain that this should require metadata, especially since we have different modules and different prompt IDs, and we should allow other keys in the metadata that are optionally filled, but required is module and prompt ID. This should be enforced by Zod schema. However, I noticed our two modules are not using this metadata when it should. Please overlook this and ensure all existing modules and future modules implements these Zod schemas. Implement these strict metadata requirements. So we want to make sure that we have strict metadata requirements with the AI core because it makes debugging a lot easier. Now, what else does it make a lot easier? It makes training AI models based on your code base and based on what you're working with a lot easier. It's very, very important. That's why OpenPipe is so powerful. I love OpenPipe. I live by OpenPipe. I'll die by OpenPipe. OpenRouter is just sick because it takes crypto and you can use any model. So I'll live and die by both these models. These are my highly recommended preferences when I am working with AI. So now I have the locations of hell. I want to generate a module. So what happens when I create a knock? I'm going to create an arc. So creating a new arc, retrieve previous arc summaries, finding locations by world, found locations, AI call. It's generating the world arc anchors right now. When it generated, it created a beat. It inserted the beat. It created the beat and inserted the beat. So it emits, hopefully not world arc or beat created, but world arc created. Yes, and that seems to be what it does. Is that the event bus will emit world arc created, not beat emitted. Now, we have the eternal damnation as hell. Hell is precarious balance. A sudden mysterious event erupts in hell. After the upheaval, hell emerges to a transformed state. So it's always changing stuff. Cool. So now that is procedure completed. If I progress the story now, you can see that AI call. So progressing arc, determine next beat index is ooh. Okay. Look at the side right here so we can debug this and observe it together. But so when we updated the beat was created. We created the events. We handled the world beat created events. Process beat for location mutations. So creating events, world beat created. I don't know, it was here. So it was this one. Okay. Progressing arc, determine next beat index, passing world descriptions to AI, finding locations by world, found locations, AI call, info world, AI call. So this was the generation, AI success, successfully generated the text, inserted the beat, arc pointer condition, arc pointer updated, beat created, This is the current beat index, creating events. Other way you're doing this, and to get my hands more on curse and other ways to dev with AI. Always learning. Yes, always learning. Beat created, creating event bus emitted. This is the important part we're looking for. World beat created. Now the location module sees that the event bus hit the world beat created. So it's handling world beat created event. What it does is it finds the world ID, the current beat ID, the current beat index, and the correlation. Processing beat for location mutation. So now it's finding locations by world. Our progression beat generated. Calling AI for location mutations. AI call. Mutate locations. AI location mutation and complete. Finding location by ID. Failed to find location. Failed to react to beat. Okay, this is valuable. So actually, I hate to just stop this o3-PRO fucking. Hate to just stop it. Really do. I really do. But we need to add that important server context into the story engine. So world builder input. World builder output. World builder inputs. World builder inputs. World builder outputs. And then this is going to be server logs. The server logs showed the location module attempting to respond. The server logs showed the location module attempting to respond to a beat by editing the status of a location, but it seemed to have messed up. Right now, additionally, right now our location module will generate every single location at once at the same time based on the call. The problem with this is that lesser dumber models don't understand or fail to do proper tool calls. I think if there's an easier way to ensure, which is the story. Okay, I think with that context with the server logs, and that's why logging is very important, because the AGI models need as much context as possible. When you log, you are giving context to the AI models about your code base. They are not magicians. They cannot just magically understand when something goes wrong. They need to log and they need to see when something goes wrong. So now I'm going to ChatGPT. And then I am going to paste this in. And then I'm going to ask o3 for its highly intelligent response. Make every domain event. So this is the o3 response. So these are like the same ones. So I like this. That's o3-PRO reasoning. This is explanation over map coordinates. So I like these. So, okay. Look at the types. Below is a targeted opinion-driven review of the current world domain events contracts, followed by proposed revision that removes inconsistencies he spotted, future-proofs the schema, and keeps wire payloads clean so the golden rule event bus stays snappy. What's wrong with the current contracts? Missing context, arc ID, beat ID. Without them, you cannot correlate the event with the correct beat. In analytics, less replays, let downstream modules decide whether to react. They need the beat pointer. Yes, they do. Run cheap database queries for timeline views. Minor, but supplying them keeps subscribers from doing extra lookups. Okay today, but if you ever need to bootstrap arcs outside the happy path, you'll also want arc number. Definitely should. Only some events have V1, other don't. A mixed approach defeats the point of forward compatible event evolution. World event logs. Duplicate but different names invite mistakes. So here's something I think would be fun to do. Add a Zod schema. But it doesn't. What do you mean it does? Right now they fail. Lock the fuck in, bro. What do you mean they do, but they don't? Story AI service. That needs to be fixed. Okay, so it does say it has the metadata. I'm not sure why it doesn't keep the metadata though. It says it right there. It says metadata. That is indeed the metadata that we are looking for. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. It's like it has to be there. Not too sure, but let's make some changes and then let's test out how these background agents could work. So add git, explain the changes we did, and write a commit message for them. Go and get logs. Shared config story, save the cat. So what I'm thinking is I just had an o3-PRO think for 13 minutes and 30 seconds to give us a better way of explaining the contracts and finding what's wrong with the current contracts. Design principles I recommend. Single source of truth for context keys. Every event that is world timeline scope should carry world ID, arc ID, beat ID. If a field is not yet meaningful, populate it with null so the shape stays stable. Explicit versioning, every payload gets a V number, event name equal topic suffix. If you emit world.event log, the TypeScript type should be world event log. No redundant event postfix. Discriminated union via kind. Downstream consumers can switch without peeking at the topic screen. Base interface plus extension. Okay, this is good. The base interface is we need world ID, arc ID, and a beat ID, and versions as we upgrade them. And this is the proposed replacements. Okay. The current emission of arc ID is a latent bug. Adopt the current uniform. So now I'm gonna ask it to be my co-director. Except I have a new. Start with a high-level overview. So yes, now you're going to take your o3-PRO write-up, and I'm still going to use o3 to convert this into a prompt, which I could carry back to Cursor. And that's my workflow so far. That's my AI agent workflow. Now this is the map. Don't need to worry about that yet. We added Zod validation for AI meta contracts with early validation. Real quick. Because I just added that Zod schema, that's potentially a breaking change, so I don't want to like progress forward knowing that that could possibly be a breaking change. Space. Space. It's a good world. Space. Is it creating the worlds? Trying to see. Calling AI for world map generic. So it's still generating space, but it takes a while. So that is what this o3 prompt is going to help us with, and ensuring that's more specific. Is it gonna work? Let's see. Well, we're still waiting. There we go. We finished space. Successfully created locations for space. I don't know why it doesn't show metadata when I have tools. Is that why I'm tripping out? See, because it didn't show the metadata. Hold on. Hold on. Because it doesn't go here, it goes into completion. I'm gonna copy this. So very quickly. So when it comes to the core client, metadata docs. Metadata, it's not a valid chat param. It gets ignored. Metadata actually goes into completion. It's not showing up open pipe despite us having validations. And then I'm gonna write example module that uses it. It's the world module. We don't have. Hold up. Before I use AI to solve that for me, I might have solved it myself. As a human in the U. Wait, how do we ensure? Without error, validation fails. So validate metadata, add metadata here. This should work. Relocations, frontier reaches. So this is space, so I'll go to space. I'm gonna create a new story arc for space. Could have been the silliest error in the world. Let's see. Oh, we have metadata now. Yay! So that was my fault. It's because it just wasn't right there. That was it. Now this is good. Now we could go back and we could push this. Get our commit messages done. So get commit and standardize world beat and improve rename consistent so it works. Integrate save the cat beat structure and a story generation. Improve observability with enhanced metadata tracking. Yes, this is good. Get commit n. Get add dot. Get commit n. Get push. So that all looks fantastic. Now I want to try these cursor background agents, yeah? I want to see how they work. I'm making a self-evolving AI engine. Self-evolving universe with an AI engine that could plug into any game SDK and help control the game narrative with story input. So, ooh. Couldn't join the hackathon, seems no area from India was viable. That was whack. That makes no sense. I guess like legally, I don't know, shit. Yeah, many more hackathons in the future to join. Our current world event contract leads contract. So okay, I'm gonna try this. The problem is our current world event contract leads context. Some payloads omit code, arc ID. Downstream modules must recreate the database to discover where in the story an event sits. This is wasted latency and invites bugs when data races occur. Introduce a uniform version event schema that carries a trio, world ID, arc ID, beat ID code on every world level domain event and makes the event type itself a discriminant. Downstream services gain single line switch routing and stateless processing, and the event bus remains feature proof. New type definitions in here. Inner factor. All of this looks good to me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste this in the cursor background agent. And this is the user instructions. So I'll put this. These are the user problems. User problems. User problems. These are instructions to implement. That looks good. Cursor agent should have access to our MCP, I think. Press odd context of it's the SRC. And see how that goes. SRC in the docs and see how that goes. Connect background agent on GitHub to continue. Wouldn't it be easier to make an AI that can hack really good and tally everything it does and make a detailed report like a real hacker does? That would be more interesting, to be honest. You can make that. I'm not interested in that. I want to make an AI that could run a whole story so that it could eventually simulate the real world in that story. Continue with GitHub. See how these integrations work. Oh, so you're a little silly. Would it be easier to make an AI that could hack really good? King Butoshi. I want you to have access. Do I want Cursor to have access to all my repos or only some of my repos? I want you to have access to some of my repos. Story engine. You gotta have access to story engine because we're testing story engine. Okay, my GitHub is connected. It is making a in-progress background agent. Fair, just like Ready Player One, yes. Ready Player One is an AI system. Our Ready Player One is an AI system that could control that. That is where my AI SDK comes in. Also, I just wanted this for a while, and it's really fun making this, so. Revise world event type definitions. This is cool. So this is... Oh, so we can see the full background agent. Man, this is kind of lit. Hold up. Why am I... I got green screen. Fix. What does this say? So we could chat with the follow-up agent. Wait, this might be crack, guys. Might be crack. This might be crack. We'll see how that works. The next thing we wanted to fix is we wanted to fix the location ID thing. So, fixing invalid input syntax. Location AI adapter mutate locations returns updates that reference the location by its human readable name. That passes the string to the repo, which dutifully calls this. Location react to beat already has a full locations array in memory. Replace this with this, and insists in the contract that the AI should return the UEID going forward. So any answer that's not a canonical UEID fails schema validation. We're designing world map generation for smaller, cheaper models. The current one-shot. Yeah, we're exploring now. The current one-shot asks even a capable model to invent 8 to 15 locations and keep the parent-child relations correct and keep the coordinates unique and fill 1 to 300 word descriptions. that single answers to the 5K tokens, fine for GPT-4, fragile for lighter modules. A two-stage planner detail pipeline is more robust. Planner. Besides structure only, number of regions, cities, landmarks, wilderness, assign unique UIDs, and allocate mutually exclusive XY coordinates. Detailer, loop over stubs. For one stub at a time, generate the 100/300 word description plus tags. One JSON object for 100 location. Because the detailer never needs to reason about coordinates or sibling counts, it can be run by much cheaper modules or batched in parallel. For one stub at a time, generate. So yes, this is good. With these two fixes, you can eliminate the current runtime crash and make the world generation tolerant of lighter, cheaper LLMs without sacrificing narrative richness. And our current, so in terms of mutating the location, the AI is capable of mutating several locations based on the beat, if necessary. Ask it that question. And Shelly is free. Shelly is free, right? Shelly, it just works. Yes, a single beat can trigger any number of locations mutations. The pipeline already supports it. Okay. So this seems like it's good, right? I'm going to get the code director prompt to go ahead and convert this into a good code for us to work with. And then now here are two fun things that I would like to prompt o3-PRO with. Two fun things. I would like to prompt o3-PRO with generating the factions module for us, and also generating the characters module and explaining how it aligns with our code base. So this is our full documentation. This is our full app. These are our migrations. Also, I just realized I haven't been running tests. All my tests failed because of the updates you've done. It's kind of my fault. I'm gonna send an agent to I get. Recently broke all our tests because we made these commit changes. Fuck. Forgot about my tests. Kind of the point of tests is to keep them working. So that's my fault. Who branched this? Somebody forked it. Somebody forked my code. Oh, I did. Oh, that might be the cursor agent that forked it. So I just want to see the different commits. So it was these two. Do you prefer OpenRouter for image gen or File AI? File AI. I didn't even know OpenRouter could do image gen. These were the commits. So yeah, these commits. And then I had these commits. And then I had these commits. And then I had... No, location module should be a part of it. Enhance AI metadata validation. Yeah, can you fix my test for me, please? I should have context in my terminal. And then for future reference, I'm going to say to always npm run test. How to explain this? Best practice reminders. Always npm run test when creating new modules or doing updates. That was my fault. Also, it's probably my fault for not including the test as context. That would probably be important. So, in the meantime, we now have our project structure guideline done for creating and fixing the world map generation and splitting that up. So I'm going to try another cursor agent, background agent, and I am going to ping this with our instructions. One-shot world map generation. Ask a single LLM call to invent a new location, key parents. Also, I'd like parallel processing for each of the stubs when the planner is made. So that's a new background agent that gets spun up. This could be powerful. How's this agent doing? It's following our cursor rules pretty fantastically great. It's creating the types that we need and it's following our instructions pretty well. So he's just now working and reading and going through that. So we're gonna let them work in the background. We're gonna fix up our test here. And now I want o3-PRO. Curious on how o3-PRO does this. I want o3-PRO to design the factions module. Sorry. Oh, that felt good. I gotta stand up. Okay, real quick. So I can like run this prompt and then go use the bathroom to save time. We have completed our world module, which controls the world and story. We completed the locations module, which generates locations on StoryGen that get referenced in the story and can mutate and adapt to the story. How should our faction module look like to help accomplish our goal of a dynamic, evolving universe that reacts to player world events? Boom. So we're gonna save this. We're gonna save that, copy that, paste that there. Yes? Yes. Now o3-PRO, I'm gonna do the same thing and say, how should our characters module look? Actually, maybe I should ask it for factions, and then when it does factions, we can make characters, because it's kind of like this hierarchy, right? You have like the world, and then you have locations, and locations you got the factions, and then those factions are like the political parties that run shit, and then you have characters, and everything could adapt and evolve based on everything. So we'll do the faction module and see what it thinks the faction module should look like. Let's test its creativity. I think that's a really good test to do. And then we'll test the character module. But these are all running, and I have 2 background agents running, and all of this looks really good. So I'm gonna take a super quick break for like 5 minutes, and I'll come back in 5 minutes. Let me go it's BRIB mode. Oh, my stream deck. Hello, stream. El gato. El gato.
Get ready for the fight. Finish it. Get ready for the battle. Finish it. Victory.
Okay, let's see the prog. What is all the meta behind the BRB screen and such? Is this an art style for a game you're working on? It's my project, Bitcoin Booze. It's like what ran my lore and everything at the start. Ooh, needs attention, so that's done. Everything's still failing. Still some failed tests. Please run npm test yourself until it works. Something I'm gonna add to my cursor rules. Watching gives loads of nostalgic vibes. I love the retro feel. I'm happy you like it. Yeah, it's a bunch of artwork I've done for my project. I did want to turn it to a game. Actually, the whole reason I'm making the story engine is to bring that universe that you saw in the BRB screen to life. So I wanted, like, my whole goal, the reason why I got into AI is because I wanted to create a fully self-dynamic evolving game universe with my project. Story engine is what allows that to happen. And then when I create the game experience for people play and interact with the story, that takes in all the information from the story engine to progress the AI game narrative. Seems like all their tests are passing. Patch the remaining issues. And you can confirm that the tests are aligned with our code base and ensure everything works. So I think I'm gonna add in the in my user rules prompt to principles ensure tests. I'm gonna tell every code base should have tests. Ensure that as you develop, you run the tests to ensure everything works. Create new tests as you create new modules. As you create new features that require testing. So I'm adding in our global rules to always test. It's very, very, very important. So, okay. We got our tests working. I'm asking to ensure that tests are aligned with our code base to make sure that works. All our tests pass. Now I want to overlook the below is complete opinionated blueprint for a faction module that fits cleanly into the architecture you already established for worlds and locations. It reuses the same vertical slice patterns, odd first schemas, TRPC plus express bridge, event bus integration, and AI adapters with function calling JSON. Factions give agency, conflict, and macro level decision making to our universe. Each faction owns goals and state that the golden rule loop can mutate. They control and contest locations. They have diplomatic stances, ally, neutral, hostile, drive emergent politics. History of leadership changes, wars, treaties, and collapses is preserved. Creation, doctrine, drafting, and reaction prompt follow the same function calling discipline used elsewhere. So domain model schema. We have ID, world ID, name, banner, emblem, ideology, status, members, home control, tags, historical events, created at. The status lifecycle is rising, stable, declining. So it could go back and forth between stable, declining, or it collapse. Collapse is terminal control, is released, but the record remains for history. So if a new faction just disappears, pump, wiped, part of history. So each event is small, JSON, serializable, service API, faction service. So we could create, update, get list, claim location, release location, set status, set stance, get history. AI adapter. So let's see what adapters we have. We generate a function, updated doctrine. When a faction experiences status change, produce revised ideology plus narrative flavor. At every world be created core interfaction relations. Now what are the AI calls? Done. Plug this module in and universe will have living schema powers that rise and fall. I want to ask, can you, based on our existing prompts, can you explain how the AI systems in charge of factions react and contribute to the story? Also, it seems like o3 takes in all this context now too, which is nice. So that was a backend update that they had to have done for o3-PRO. So skip that. All their tests run. Why is it stuck on this? Is it still generating? Continue, please. So yeah, you continue. I don't know why you stopped. Okay, let's get add dot, get commit m. Fix the tests with our updates. Git push. And then everything is wired so that location repo stub is auto-registered. Critical pitfalls, styling polish, implementation checklist for your dev agents. Okay. How the faction AI thinks, reacts, and drives the narrative. When a world is created, it generates factions. I'm gonna copy this actually. So I want it to follow and then doctrine drift. Faction status change. Status becomes rising or declining. After a world beats created, evaluate relations and see if something has to change. If faction status changed, then it does the doctrine updates with ideology. If location status changed and the status is there, then we allow these. Okay. Active faction. There should be multiple factions in a story. Also, oh, so factions have there could be multiple active factions in a story, similar to how there's multiple events. There should be multiple factions, similar to how there is multiple events. There should be multiple factions. Additionally, I want to ensure the faction module takes this design that we just redid for locations. Additionally, I want to ensure the faction module takes this design that we just redid for locations, where upon generation. Actually, I think we just leave that. I think that looks good. Before we get into implementing the faction module and the characters module, which I do think we could one-shot with this new strategy, let's go look at our background agents. So, implement parallel processing for stubs. Implemented a new planner detailer pipeline for world map generation enabled by the use map planner feature flag, and patch a Postgres SQL crash related to location mutations. So we now generate the chords. Generates non-overlapping coordinates. Shared queue instance. And we npm ran dev here. Can I open a terminal? Show terminal. Oh, I could. So I could be like npm run dev. Oh, I guess I could check out locally, right? And then we can make a PR. So check out locally, fetching and switching. So this is the branch that the agent just did. So if I git checkout B, git view, git branch view. But I'm supposed to have checked this out locally, no? Is that not? Hold on. How is this supposed to work? So just fix the test with our updates, yes. And then I wanted to check this out locally. Create a checkpoint commit with your current changes. Oh, there are local changes. What do you want to do? Commit changes. Okay, so this is the new branch. Git checkout, git branch v. So this is cursor's new branch. Cursor implement parallel processing for stubs. We now have this background agent, and this is the new local file. So it works, do not work. npm install. I think it's another cursor rule we gotta add. Is it's trying to like think. I mean, I should have already told it that we need. Yeah, I told us to use the latest up to date. Why is this not working? npm install. Fix this, please. See if that could work. New Cloud Code plan mode. Ooh. Ooh. It's interesting changes. Fair and npm run dev. Cannot find package UID. npm install UID. npm run dev. Okay. So that seems to all work. If I go to story engine and we create a new world, let's go to open pipe. Let's see how it changes. All of this. So the world under Earth. So I'm creating a new world. That works. And this should immediately start calling AI for world map generation. See how that works. If this branch thing works really well, that could be insane. This could be insane, insane, insane. So you have chords, you have queue, location service. I'll use a map planner. Created bulk locations, but it did that in one prompt. No, it just made locations in one prompt. It didn't do anything. It's not good. When I created a world, it still just created the AI in bulk. So it just created the locations in bulk with one prompt. It didn't create a world map planner, which then created the locations and should call in parallel. Let me ask O3 for this. And should call in parallel all the different locations. In parallel, adding description, tags, act to locations the planner generated. Why did it not do that? Is what we're about to find out. And then what happens when we have location, we have factions, and we start tracking world events? One thing that would be cool is then rag memory using mem 0 potentially to then upgrade, or to hit mem 0 to then upgrade this entire thing. And then we could give NPCs in the game rag memory so that when players dialogue and converse with them, they have access to the world information, they have access to specific long-term details that happen in the world over time and player interactions, etc. As well as their own. So the story engine should have like a lore rag knowledge graph engine. And then in the actual game, NPCs themselves will have like their own memory, and that's for the game to do. Or maybe story engine handles memories too. For NPCs in dialogue. I think it would be fun to like make the character module also create character personalities that load in like all the world information, and then have like a rag memory thing go on for that. Huh. This is the default, so the planner-based pipeline is now enabled automatically. If you ever need to revert to the single flow plot, just set use map planner equals false. So it should work. Also, we have some errors here. Like, what are the errors? Maybe see not use that. You don't see any use that. There's an error here. Let's fix this. How is this one still not done? Is he stuck in a loop? Might be stuck in a loop, I don't know. Let's test if this location thing works in parallel once that's fixed. Like, all schemas should be in their own thing, no? Actually, no. Shouldn't you have a schema? That should... Any schemas should be in schema.ts. Don't make a schema in here. We should only be importing schemas. Yeah, so like didn't follow the docs. So I think we need to make that a specific project rules structure, even though it is. Like, what are these? What are these schemas on the bottom? There are these schemas at the bottom too that should not be defined in there. These schemas need to be defined in schema. So we'll let that do that. I think I'm gonna switch to quad code to implement the factions modular layout. I think Cloud Code would do a really good job at doing that. It sees exactly what a good human game master. Ooh, I like that o3-PRO compared the AI agents in the game to the game master, to like a real world game master. Hard Jason contract keeps it from hallucinating undeclared cities or factions. Golden rule fit, every AI suggestion becomes an event, never a hidden side effect, so the wider loop stays traceable. I'm happy we also have the golden rule that we define in our code base as well. Yes, these schemas. Now placed in here. Location service is happy. That all looks golden. npm run dev. Alright, server looks happy. Let's test out creating a new world called D's. And because we created a new world, so now calling the planner AI failed to handle world dot created. Key parent location ID is not present in table locations. Failed to create bulk locations. So this could be a problem from what? So plan the world fine. Plan the world really nice. Oh, so the problem. Wait. Okay, here's the problem. Is that super base? So this is the problem. Our locations module has a problem where we generate a UUID in the code base. However, Superbase doesn't like that. How can we make this system work with Superbase? And then I also want to give it the JSON output of the planner. So this was the planner inputs, and this was the planner outputs. And then in terms of the prompt I actually used, where do I use Cloud for Sonnet? Right here as a default. Nano should be the default for the sake of speed in testing. Nice world name, these, yeah, these. So now we need to figure out I gave it the full terminal, so I'll let him figure that out. I must continue my role as the director. Revised world event stuff should be done now, finally. So, the remaining compiler errors are strictly about the branded IDs. Please implement that. We asked the AI for single stubs array that contains both regions and child locations. So the root cause is that we asked the AI for single stubs array that already contain both regions, parentless rows, and child locations that point at those regions via parent location ID. We then try to push the whole array into Postgres in one insert. Postgres/Superbase enforces the self-referencing FK immediately, so any child row that appears before its parent explodes with location IDs not present. Two reliable ways to make Postgres happens. Defer the FK check. Mark the FK check as deferrable, initially deferred, and the single bulk insert will work because the check only happens at commit. Stick with the current constraint, insert in 2 phases. Insert every stub whose parent ID location is null. Insert the remaining stubs, not that the parent locations exist. I like that fix better. So it changed this to... So explain how this works and why it fixes it. Do we upload the regions to the Superbase, then attach each child to the Superbase region? How does the AI get the context? Question mark. See how that works. Because then I want to implement these two, because then it'll make implementing the faction module a lot easier. We still pre-generate all the UIDs in the back end. After the AI returns the finished stubs array, we now split it in memory. We insert the regions first, because the FK constraint only fires when parent location is not null. The phase never violates the constraint. And then we insert children second. Okay, let's test it. So if we go here, go story worlds, and then we create a new world called nuts. It's calling the planner. The planner call failed because of what? Planner schema validation failed. Because the model is too dumb? Is that the issue? Why did this one fail? Invalid planner payload? What is this issue? I don't want you to fix this, I just want to understand how the schema validation works and why this didn't work. Type is missing. Parent location ID has invalid UUID format. It's not providing the required location. Schema definition looks correct, but the AI is not following it properly. Yeah, we don't need to do that last part. You already did your job. Let's test this. Also, I think strict yes. I think we need to make, I think what would help a lot. npm run dev. Try making another world. But just what happens here? Okay, so the schema plan success initially. But now we are getting so we're still getting this issue. Which is supposed to be solved here. Let's see what O3 says. It does seem to be insert. Like this was inserted. This location was inserted. The title is goated, thumbs up, shout out. Failure shows we only inserted 2 rows, but the AI produced 13 stubs that reference 3 painted parents. One of those parents never made it to the first phase. Why did that happen? My initial split logic used stub type region to decide parent versus child. If the AI mislabeled a true top level location, we skipped it, hence the FK error. That's true. Region, well, regions are the parents, so I don't really want that. So that was an AI issue. So I think we could just add. So if we go back, or it's like, okay, we got this now. So if we go back here, restore that checkpoint. This could be an AI issue. So if you go back to, these will be a type regions. So I'll put 7. Only region locations can be parents. Therefore, regions must be sets null. Anything else must reference a region. See if that was an AI issue one more time. Could be that 4.1 nano is also just dumb. Because I am asking for a nano world location to do this, which a nano small models would not be doing this. So if anything, for actual non-headache testing, I'll just grab in like GPT-4o as a model. Make sure I got tools. OpenAI GPT-4. Okay, this one failed to see the initial map. I feel like that might be Nano's issue. If we have Chat GPT-4o try doing this, then does it work fine? Ocean world. This is using a smarter model. Type region, parent location ID null. Type region, parent location ID null. So let's go here. And then let's ask. So we got this. So this is input. This is output. Why did we get this error now? Because that should have worked. At least it seems like it does. This is a region, so it's null. City, landmark, region, null, wilderness. Parent location ID is... yeah, like that's fine. That is also fine. So we only have 2 parents. We don't have A, B, and 75.8. We did insert the regions first whenever we wrote the AI supplied UUID into those rows. Both because therefore generated fresh UUIDs for 2 regions. Both phases now include ID when we build location spec. Okay. Let's try it one more time. Third time, Issa Charm. Story worlds, new world. Stone world. Stone. World of stone. I mean, that worked. Though I do think better planning would probably be to make the region. I mean, this is working. So it works. It's working now. Successfully created locations for world planner path. So actually, I think a better design is we initially generate all the regions at once. That's bad. Then we decided let's do a planner and then let's generate each of the locations. But then the planner is bad because the planner generates the UIDs on the spot. Instead, I think we should do a multiple step phase where it's like, first we plan out the regions. Think of 3 regions, 3 to 4 regions, as many regions as the AI wants. First we plan regions. And then we upload the regions to Superbase. So the Superbase generates UIDs already in the database. We don't got to worry about this weird shit the AI is already trying to do. Then for each region, I want the AI, so we generate region. We generate the region first, the description of a region, and the XY coordinates of a region. Those gets uploaded to Superbase. Then for each region, I think region should also like cover the range or radius or whatever. Anyways, after each region gets gen and uploaded to Superbase, we then tie that all together into generating something for each region. So we generate then the cities, and then we could generate wilderness, and then we could generate landmark. So I think that's how that should be done instead. So unfortunately, fortunately, I'm not going to commit this, but that was a good background agent test. I'm gonna switch back to my main branch. Clear. Get checkout, man. I don't want to stash him. I just stash him. Maybe like old location. NPM rundown. Clear. Get checkout, man. Push. So this is our main branch. The working tests. So this is what we're going, and this is what we are going to do instead. Is first, I'm going to take this. So now on the latest up-to-date faction module, we're gonna try 3 different things right now. We are going to use OpenAI or we're gonna use cursor background agents to then generate, to redo the repos, but this time with like fixed tests and like a fixed design and everything. So let's open up some background changes for this. So this one I actually want to pause you, and I want you to go bye-bye, and I want you to go bye-bye, and then I'm gonna take the user instructions, and I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna add implementation instructions. So the current, so this goal here, so I'm gonna add the docs in. I'm going to add our world core, files world domain, files world domain. And I don't want you to worry about breaking changes. Please, I'm gonna say please implement this new types design to ensure our world module is consistent and easy to reference for other modules, especially because every world is everything that happens in the game that happens is tied to the world ID, tied to the arc ID, tied to the arc ID, tied to the world ID, tied to the arc ID, and is tied to everything that happens in the world is tied to the world ID, tied to the arc ID, and is tied to the B ID. And is tied to the current B ID to ensure consistent timelines. All right, so that's agent number one. Agent number two is we do want to break up the region into this. So I'm going to take my user instructions here because this is what it currently gets and what it currently pastes. So these are the user instructions. And then this down here is the implementation. So let's do this. I'm gonna update O3 and say, because we have experience from the last fix, we know what works better now. So one, rather than just a planner, I think we should do this. We should do this. Rather than just a planner and bulk updater, I think we should do this. One, we first generate the regions of the world. This comes with descriptions already. We first generate the regions of the world. This comes with descriptions already. We first generate the regions of the world. This comes with descriptions already to ensure world generation, to ensure region generation is good. What else can have 2 to 5 regions, depending on what the GM feels like. We push those generations into Superbase. Now this gives the child locations. Now this gives the child locations Superbase IDs and parents they can actually reference. Now we have the region of the world map. Now I have the regions of the world map generated. One by one. Now you have the regions of the world map generated. Now we should generate the cities. Now we should generate the cities. What else do we generate? We generate cities, we generate... Let's check. We generate cities. So we have cities, landmarks, wilderness. Generate cities, and then landmarks, and then the wilderness. Now we should generate the cities all in one function call that each relate to one region. Then we should generate, we want to generate the wilderness first. Then we should generate the wilderness that exists in the world. Each region can have 0 wilderness or 1 wilderness. Right? It doesn't really make sense for a region to have multiple wildernesses. Doesn't make sense for a region to have multiple wildernesses. And then 3, we generate landmarks. Finally 4, we generate cities. Because cities should come around landmarks. The Graveyard of Giants sounds so sick. Took place millions of years ago. And the fate and combat. Damn, that's so sick. Then we generate cities. In this order, in bulk with function calls, we generate cities with function calls. In this order, every following AI gen should have the full context of the current world title plus description, then gen, and the follow-up of previous gens. So we should have regions gen empty, as that's the initialization. Then we should have, I know I'm blocking the chat down here, but then we should have what's the word I'm looking for? How do we start streaming to blow up? Just keep streaming, bro. What you mean? Actually, greatest advice I've ever gotten in my life is from one of my homies who works with the biggest esports players and the biggest esports streamer. I asked him how to become the best AI content creator in the entire world. I want to be number 1. I want to be the best. His answer was to just post more, bro. That's it. Just post more. That's all you have to do. Bad. So let me see. Then we should have. That's what I'm looking for. Coastal region super base. Then we should have landmarks. Wilderness get generated with the context of existing regions and decide the parents. Then we have landmarks get generated with the context of regions plus wilderness. Then we have cities get generated with the context. Then we have cities get generated with the context of regions plus wilderness plus landmarks. I'm not sure how to ensure proper map X and Y coordinates for generation in the future though. Please help with this. And give me a high level design based on what we already talked about. That should be good. He said, I'll bring you to the top with me when I make it. I'll see you there, Jit. Which esports org? NDAs, can't say shit. Okay, we replaced a single planar detail pass with a hierarchical generator that mirrors our cartographer would flesh out a map. First we have regions, wilderness, landmarks, and cities. Each stage receives full world context plus everything created earlier. Right rows to super base immediately so later stages can reference the UIDs. Allocates XY coordinates that never collide with existing points. We will replace a single plan or detail pass with a 4-stage hierarchical generator that mirrors our cartographer. Let's try this. I'm gonna put implementation instructions. Write that in there. I'll copy this. We're gonna switch the locations to do this instead. And that should work really well. So let's add that. We have this in progress still. Was the Asgard Fantasy Map Gen even useful? Yes, I use o3 to then generate me an actual we use o3 to generate like the full structure thing. So it was very useful. We'll have to test it out though. I don't want to like get nerds not making that because I need to make the faction module. So how are we gonna make the faction module? o3-PRO already thought for 11 minutes and 30 seconds to give us a full opinionated blueprint on how this should work. So I'm gonna copy that. And then I'm gonna use our boy Claude Code to help us run this up. So I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna say create the factions module. After reading our docs to understand how our engine, how our infinite self-evolving story engine works, then implement these details. Paste. So this is the executive summary. Boom. Cloud code. Run. Now we got 2 backup agents, background agents, running up some minor things on the side that I would like done. And then, oh, there's an update. I have to apply it. Give me 1 sec. npm Claude. Okay. After reading our docs to understand how our infinite self-evolving story engine works, please implement the factions module. Paste. Now we got our background agents running on some specific high quality tasks I need done, and some refactors for existing locations. And then I have Claude Code over here working on the new faction module. And then I'm going to change this message. I'm going to go back to o3-PRO, and I'm curious. Now, how would you see the character module falling under this, assuming factions is implemented as you stated? I'm thinking I want to be able to generate characters upon world creation, have some consistent schema for system prompts, What's the word I'm looking for. I'm thinking I want to be able to generate characters upon world creation, have some consistent schema for system prompts, have characters, personalities, names, and anything important defined that can alter the story, as well as state history of characters. Players would also fall under this in the game, not just NPCs. I'd want a relationship managing system that makes sense for stories. I want characters to be attachable to factions, and in the future, actually, it's a really big conflict. I'm thinking One thought I have. Should story engine handle RAG long-term memories of NPCs? Should the game handle the long RAG term memories of NPCs, and story engine just acts as a vector database of world lore and details to inject into NPCs in a game so they stay consistent with the story and history? That's an o3-PRO question I got right there. Alright, we got the faction module being made. We got a really good domain being made. I love Cloud Code so much. It's so good, bro. It's actually the most insane piece of coder tools to come out. And then, so I'm happy you got to the faction module. I'm happy we cleaned everything else up today. That was good progress. Ideally, Friday is when we implement and finish the characters module. Run some tests to ensure that everything works together in conjunction. Figure out how we could apply this into actual game engines, which we kind of already did via like the SDK. So that should already be handled by default. And then we could spend the next 15 days of the month for the hackathon working on the front end. And I have an idea in which I want to create a demo experience on Bolt using an AI voice agent via 11 Labs, which acts as the game master that plays and generates this universe with you. And you are a player in the game. And you can dialogue and interact with the different NPCs, and it switches voices and does all of that. Pretty sure I can nail that in one shot when the time comes. So let's check out these background events. The faction module is being implemented. We're now gonna have factions and political parties in the story engine system. We prettied up the location module so that that is nicer and works with the dumber models. And we fixed some world type issues and schema issues that are going to be a problem in the future to prevent future technical debt and make working with everything else easier. And then we also designed the map plan so that with our world map and as we generate locations on the spot, we can now have a drawn Asgard style fantasy map generator that reflects our world we generated on the spot. So I'm very excited for that. Very, very excited for that. In the meantime, I'm gonna call stream right there. We'll run back next stream showing the new faction module that's about to be implemented. And yeah, take care, y'all. Thanks for joining me again. We got